Hi, you're human. You like to buy stuff.
You like to think you're rational. You think you bought that expensive smartphone because of the camera specs. And you chose that specific coffee this morning because you were thirsty. But here's the problem. You are lying to yourself. You didn't buy that phone for the specs. You bought it because of the launch event triggered a dopamine hit. You didn't buy the coffee because of thirst. You bought it because the logo is green and the color calms your amygdala. You think you are the CEO of your own decisions, but most of the time you're just an intern pressing buttons. Based on ancient programming, this is the study of how biology overrides logic in the marketplace.
This is NeuroMarketing. Before we talk about ads, we have to talk about the hardware, your brain.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator.
It's not just one blob of gray jelly, it's basically 3 different computers taped together, trying to run different operating systems. First, the Reptilian Complex, the old brain. It only cares about survival, fleeing, feeding, fighting, and reproduction. It's fast, it's paranoid, and it hates change. Sitting on top of that is the Limbic System, the midbrain. This is where emotions live: love, fear, anger, nostalgia. It's the drama queen. Finally, the Neocortex, the new brain. This is where logic, math, and language happen. It's very smart, but it's also incredibly slow and lazy. Here's the kicker. The new brain thinks it's driving the car, but the old brain and the midbrain actually have their foot on the gas pedal. Marketers use this to target the new brain with facts and figures. Now, they target the old brain with signals it can't ignore. So how do these 3 parts make a decision? Enter Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. They gave us System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 2 is slow, deliberate, and logical. It's what you use to calculate your taxes. It burns a lot of energy, so your brain hates using it. System 1 is fast, automatic, and intuitive. It's what you use to read facial expressions or decide which cereal to grab. It's highly efficient, but it makes a lot of mistakes. Guess which system marketers want you in? You got it, System 1. If you stop to use System 2 logic, you might realize you don't actually need another pair of sneakers. Neuromarketing is the art of keeping you in System 1. So you buy before your logic wakes up. Moving on, your brain runs on chemicals. Marketers are basically unlicensed pharmacists trying to trigger the right dose at the right time. The big one is dopamine. Wow. It's not the pleasure molecule, it's the anticipation molecule. It's the itch you get when you see a buy now button or hear a notification ding. It drives seeking behavior. Then there's cortisol, the stress hormone. Marketers use this with fear of missing out. A ticking timer on a website spikes cortisol. Your brain screams, act now or die. So you buy the concert tickets. And oxytocin, the trust chemical, when a brand uses a relatable influencer or shows you a heartwarming connection, they are sprinkling a little oxytocin so you let your guard down. Okay, we have the hardware, the operating system, and the fuel. Let's put it in a box and shake it. You just invented cognitive biases. These are the cheat codes of human behavior. They are mental shortcuts your System 1 uses to save energy. There are hundreds. But here are the big hitters. Social proof. We are herd animals. If 10,000 people reviewed a toothbrush, your old brain assumes it must be safe. Monkey see, monkey buy. Scarcity. Only 2 items left in stock. This hacks your loss aversion. Losing an opportunity hurts twice as much as gaining something feels good. It's anchoring. You walk into a store and see a $5,000 watch. You think that's crazy. Then you see a $1,000 watch next to it. Suddenly, the $1,000 feels cheap. The first number you see anchors your perception of value. Framing. 90% fat-free sounds way better than 10% fat. It's the exact same thing, but the frame changes the emotional response. Marketers don't create desires, they just build better traps for the desires you already have. So, this all sounds good in theory, but how do we know that it works? For decades, marketing was a guessing game. We used surveys and focus groups. We asked people, why did you buy this? And people answered, but they lied. They didn't lie on purpose. They lied because the new brain was making up a logical reason for an emotional decision it didn't understand. And here's a perfect example. Cheetos. For years, people told focus groups we hate the orange dust. It's messy, it stains my fingers, it gets everywhere. Logic says, okay, let's invent a cleaner Cheetos. But then, Frito-Lay look at the EEG data. Turns out that moment you lick the orange dust off your fingers, it triggers a massive spike in ED subversion. Your brain doesn't hate the mess, it loves the mess. The mess is the whole point. If they had listened to what people said, they would have cleaned up the product and destroyed the brand. Traditional market researchers asks the mouth, but NeuroMarketing asks the brain. We use tech to bypass the new brain's BS filter. fMRI scanners, giant magnets that show blood flow in the brain. We show you an ad for Coke inside the machine and see if your desire center lights up like a Christmas tree. EEG caps, those weird swimming caps with wires. They measure electrical activity, great for seeing exactly when you get bored during a commercial. Eye tracking, heat maps that show where your eyes actually look versus where you say you look. We don't ask if you like the ad, we measure if your pupils dilated, your skin got sweaty, and your neurons fired. Your body can't lie. Okay, time to zoom in. Now let's see how this exactly can show up in your life. Pricing psychology. Why does everything end in 0.99 cents? Because we read left to right. Your lazy brain sees $19.99 and encode it as something teen dollars, which feels way cheaper than 20. Sensory branding. You think you buy with your eyes, but your nose is a direct line to the limbic system. That new car smell is often a synthetic spray designed to make you feel wealthy and secure.
A chastity belt? Oh, that's going to chafe my...
Bakeries vent their ovens onto the street on purpose. UX and web design. Why are add to cart buttons almost always orange or green, but never brown? Why are YouTube thumbnails obsessed with faces showing intense emotions? Because your old brain prioritizes faces over text every single time. So where does this lead? If you take all of this, the biology, the biases, the tech, you realize the concept of the rational consumer is a myth. The market isn't a place for logical people to exchange goods. It's a battlefield for your subconscious attention. Some people call this manipulation. Some call it evil mind control. Others just call it good business. If you know your customer prefers blue, why would you sell them red? But it's getting intense. The future of this isn't just optimized billboards. It's hyper-personalized AI ads that you know your current dopamine levels based on how fast you're scrolling, delivering the exact trigger your old brain needs at the exact second. The frontier of marketing isn't outer space, it's your inner space. So, what have we learned? You have three brains, you make decisions emotionally and rationalize them later. You are full of exploitable biases, and technology can now read your mind better than you can. And that's neuromarketing. All of it. Well, almost all of it. Explained fast. If you want your new brain to actually learn something for once, hit subscribe. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll do a deep dive just on how to hack dopamine. Class dismissed.